Madali ang update tayo mga idol sa laban ni Nonito Donaire kontra Riku Masuda na ginanap sa Japan. Isang WBAA eliminator ngayong lang March 15, 2026.
Trim for the Filipino Flash. It's very interesting. Donaire is starting with an orthodox stance.
He's tried switch hitting before, with success, I would think.
What's really impressive with Donaire is not only his career has spanned this long, the longevity is very impressive, the resume is very impressive, but the ability, the fight IQ, and his ability, the versatility of his arsenal, I mean, definitely contributes to the longevity of his career.
A lot of people will not like me or won't agree with me with what I'm gonna say, but I personally believe, in my honest opinion, Nonito Donaire is the most natural.
Sa unang bahagi ng laban, kapansin-pansin ang pag-iingat ng dalawang mandirigma. Pareho silang may knockout power, kaya bawat galaw ay sinusukat, bawat suntok ay pinag-iisipan.
Covered his fights for many years. Shortly after the first Tarchinian fight, I've never seen the guy train. He limbers up, but he never trains. This is probably the first time he's done a full training camp in Cebu, which he started mid-January. That's why he looks so good.
I mean, if the weigh-ins is a good indicator of performance, Nonito Donaire was very shredded. He looked really good during the weigh-ins.
The best shape of his life.
Probably, which goes to show he has a really good camp. He did really well in the Omega Boxing Gym in Cebu. He brought in his trainers. He had really good sparring partners. And the speed and the quickness is in display here in round number 1.
You have to remember, guys, Nonito is 43 years old and still competing at this high level.
100%. And if we're basing if we look at his last fight in Seiya Tutumi, he was very impressive in that fight. Admittedly, he slowed down in the later rounds, and that allowed Tutumi to like really catch up on the scorecards. But if you look at the amount of damage he was able to inflict on Tutumi, I mean, Tutumi's nose is still broken.
Habang tumatagal ang laban, nagsimulang umatake si Donaire. Sinubukan niyang ilabas ang kanyang kilalang pamatay na left hook, ngunit maingat si Masuda at hirap itong maipatama ng veteranong Pilipino.
But it was a very long time ago. They were still starting out,
which provides like a really good angle to the story of Donaire going up against Masuda right now.
Yes.
Good right straight there from Donaire.
One thing I noticed too at the start of this round is Donaire using Cleto Reyes.
He's really aiming for.
He's aiming for
a knockout. Yeah, he wants to really optimize the punching power.
Yep.
Because for the longest time he's used Everlast.
Yeah. I did some research just now, and the last time he wore Cleto Reyes gloves was against his fight against Prado, which was 10, 11 years ago here in the Philippines, here in Araneta. And I don't know the reason why he wore those, but shortly after he wore Everlast ever since. So, but in this particular fight, he's going for a knockout.
Good left straight there from Masuda. Masuda is trying to throw that jab over the stretched arms of Donaire. Good counter punching so far from Donaire. Quick reactions from the Filipino Flash. Stiff jabs from the Japanese fighter. Masuda opts for a jab to the body. Now Donaire moving forward, has him against the ropes. Good right hand from the Flash.
What a very tactical fight.
People have to really appreciate the fight IQ or the boxing IQ of Nonito Donaire. That was a beautiful 1-2 from Masuda. Down and up attack from Donaire. Final 10 seconds of the second round.
Nagkaroon ng magandang palitan ng suntok. Tumama ang ilang kaliwang straight ni Masuda habang si Donaire naman ay naghanap ng pagkakataon sa katawan ng Hapon upang pabagalin ang kanyang galaw.
The body.
A little bit more active now is Donaire. Small investments to the body of Masuda. Quick jabs by Masuda to the face. Jab and a frame from Donaire. Good right hand from the Filipino fighter. Another straight to the body.
Look how both fighters are controlling the outside. Being a southpaw and an orthodox fighter, they're controlling the outer leg to get that proper angle for. Nice double jab by the Japanese.
Good right hand from Donaire. He's trying to step on the outside line of Masuda to throw that right hand.
Nice right by Donaire.
Donaire is mixing it up, you know, he's putting it's like he's probing, he's trying which angle works better for him. If his left foot is on the outside, he throws the straight. If his left foot is on the inside, he throws that left hook. See? Left hook, then straight to the body.
He's looking for the tendencies of
Masuda, how he reacts.
Again, like what you said, he's probing. What will this guy do if I throw a punch from this angle or from the other side? Again, that's boxing IQ for you. Nice
Quick counter right there from Nonito. Trying to be loose. Now he's shuffling in and out. Trying to get a feel of the timing of Masuda. Good left hook there by Donaire. As we approach the ending final seconds of this round.
Habang umiinit ang laban, nagpakita ng tibay ang dalawang fighters. Walang gustong umatras.
Quick check hook there by Donaire. Seems like Donaire has found his range. Donaire very light on his feet. Masuda is trying to feint the jab upwards, and then he's gonna change direction with the left hand. Now Masuda wants his foot on the outside.
Oh, there's the left. The Donaire left. The killer left.
Yep. Good right hand from Donaire. I like how Donaire throws a punch not to hurt or not to like hit, but just to disrupt. You know, he's just disrupting the rhythm of Masuda. Good straight to the body.
Another one.
Follows up with a hook and an uppercut to the midsection.
Two highly disciplined athletes.
Yeah, because if you're observing Riku Masuda, ladies and gentlemen, he's gonna go like 2-3 taps high above, and then he's gonna throw a left straight to the body. What Donaire is doing is every time he does that, midway through the tap upwards, he's gonna disrupt. It's either he's gonna throw a straight or he will throw a check hook.
Yeah, there's a probing
lead there by Masuda. Good left hand there by Riku Masuda. Donaire has shifted into counter punching. Good lead straight there from Donaire. So far, it's been a downstairs strategy for Donaire. Final 10 seconds of this round. Halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. This is between Riku Masuda of Japan versus Nonito Donaire of the Philippines. This is for the WBA Bantamweight Title Eliminator, brought to you by Premier Sports. This is Franco Rolyoda. With me is Paulo Diaz and Miguel Crudo, bringing you action in Yokohama, Japan. And you're watching the Filipino Flash unleash that lead straight at the center of the ring. Another lead straight to the body. Now he goes upstairs.
It's a very give and take type of fight. You don't know who's ahead, who's winning.
And I like the patience and the jabs of Riku Masuda. You know, he's not letting up. It's very quick. Good follow-up with the left hand. Donaire now
Picking up the pace.
stepping on the gas for a bit. Now he goes for that left hook. Smart move here by Masuda, circling to his left.
Nice job by Masuda. Stop Donaire. Nice right by Donaire.
And the defensive wall that Masuda is able to set up. You know, and every time Nonito will throw that right hand, he will circle to his right side. Quick 1-2 there from Masuda. Telegraphed and blocked by Nonito. Now Nonito playing loose. Lands with the right hand. Now lands with the left. Another right hand from Donaire. He's feeling it. Nice right hand from Donaire.
Look how disciplined Masuda is.
No, he's not getting baited.
He's not getting baited, yeah.
He's not trying to fall for that trick.
Nice left by
Good left hand by Masuda. Good right hand to the body from Donaire. Another right hand to the body.
Masuda answers back to the left. Another left by Masuda.
Masuda's feeling the body shots now. He's covering up downstairs. Good left hand there by Masuda. However, it was blocked by Donaire.
Donaire might be cut from a punch.
End of the round. Expect both fighters to take things up a notch. Right on cue. Quick 1-2 from Masuda.
Masuda has a clear target now, so he should exploit it. On the other side, Donaire has to make sure that it doesn't get bigger and hopefully doesn't hamper the way he attacks.
And at the same time, mount his own offense. Upper and a hook from Donaire.
He heard you, coach. There's a nice left by Masuda.
Very nice left that landed for Rico Masuda.
Again, aiming for that cut.
Masuda has good rhythm right now.
Sa gitna ng aksyon, nagkaroon ng sugat sa kilay si Donaire matapos ang banggaan ng ulo, dahilan para pansamantalang patigilin ng referee ang laban upang masuri ang hiwa.
Now we're given a go signal.
Pagbalik ng aksyon, nagsimulang makuha ni Masuda ang momentum.
Good left hook there by Donaire. Masuda putting forward pressure on the champion. Good body shot by Donaire.
Gets him at the top of the left as well.
Expect Rico Masuda to keep pushing for that straight to the body.
There you go.
Now he's moving forward. Has Donaire against the ropes. Quick escape from nonito.
Unti-unti niyang kinontrol ang laban at isang mabigat na suntok ang tumama na nagtulak kay Donaire patungo sa mga ngiti.
Very nice hook there by Nonito Donaire.
Nice.
Right on the button. Now Donaire is punishing Masuda. Masuda acknowledges the champ. Now the exchanges are physical. They're both powerful. The worst thing for either boxer now is to be reckless. Good right hand there from Donaire. Good straight to the body from Masuda.
Donaire waiting to counter. He's got to move.
Final 10 seconds of the round. Good left hook there from Donaire. Beautiful left hand by Masuda.
Donaire answers back with his own left.
End of the...
Lalong lumala ang sitwasyon nang magbukas ang hiwa sa ibabaw ng kanang mata ng veterano.
In the previous fight, this is like this is the X Factor round. This is where Donaire will either fade or he's gonna slow down. So let's see how he fares. 7th round leading to the finish. Same game plan for Masuda. That left hand by Masuda is finding its target.
The cut might be bothering him. Donaire. There's another one. There's another left that got through.
Another left hand by Masuda. Good defense being deployed here by Donaire, but he needs to throw punches. He needs to hit. He needs to throw. Masuda now has him against the corner.
Patuloy ang pressure ng batang Hapon. Mas naging eksakto ang kanyang mga suntok habang pinipilit niyang tapusin ang laban.
Credit to Masuda. He knows he's got Donaire hurt, but he's taking it. He's
Taking his time. He's being methodical about this.
being very careful as well. We know how dangerous Donaire is. One punch can change everything in this fight. In this high level of a fight.
Quick 1-2 from Masuda. Good right hand from Donaire. Masuda now still stalking his prey. Good counter punching by Donaire. Double jab in a straight. That left hand.
It's finding a spot. It's a money shot for Masuda right now. Ooh.
Sa huling sandali ng round, tumama ang isang malakas na kaliwang straight na nagpabagsak kay Donaire sa canvas.
To Donaire.
Will he survive the round?
Nonito's corner is asking him, but Nonito says no. Then he goes for that really well-placed left hand to score that knockdown.
Latest donor.
Let's see it from another angle.
Adelaide.
Beautifully placed left hand there
Yan, happy birthday sa'yo.
by Riku Masuda
Maligayang karawan.
on the chin of Nonito Donaire. Miguel, your thoughts on the patient?
Nagkaroon pa ng 1-point deduction si Donaire sa pag-umpisa ng round 8.
1 point stepping on the ring. Hey, 1 point stepping on the ring.
They took a point on Nonito.
First step.
Nang magpatuloy ang laban, mabilis ang pag-atake ni Masuda. Sunod-sunod na suntok ang pinakawalan niya laban sa veteranong Pilipino.
Good. You got knocked down on the previous round, and to open the round,
You're behind the point.
you're behind on the scorecards.
With that, he has
He really needs to win via knockout now.
Exactly.
He needs to stop his opponents. Good left hand once again by Masuda. Good right hand from Nonito. Nonito still punching, still fighting.
Still moving forward. A very disciplined Masuda.
You know, he's not no wasted energy. Still very efficient with his boxing.
I mean, very disciplined fighter. You know, he smells blood. He knows he's ahead, but he's still.
Nakita ng kampo ni Donaire na tumatanggap na siya ng labis na pinsala. Sa puntong iyon, nagpa siya ang kanyang corner na ihagis ang tuwalya upang itigil ang laban. Isang desisyong ginawa upang protektahan ang alamat. Nakuha ni Masuda ng panalo by technical knockout